what is going on, people? I'm Harry. Thanks for tuning into my vlog. We are all about doing commercial truck repair. We're all about talking about nothing and, having a good time, enjoying life, and letting grace reign in our life. Speaking of that, we are right. I don't know what's going on with this coronavirus deal. I don't even know that anybody could imagine this. I know I certainly couldn't. I didn't ever think this would even be possible. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the hype and the level of, I'll just say insanity. I call it insanity. I'm a small businessman, and as a small businessman, I see, I rely on networks and other small businesses and other even big businesses, and to see what's happening in our country now, with places closing and all this, and I never thought I'd see it. And let me tell you something else too, and by no means am I shaming anyone who doesn't feel like I do or think like I do. And I'm not telling you to think like I think. I'm just telling you how I think. And I don't buy into this stuff. The talking heads on the television, I don't put a lot of stock in them. They sell advertising. They will they will drive the latest story so hard to get you to stay tuned into them. Be it a hurricane, be it a snowstorm, they instill fear to a point that is just unhealthy. And if you're a person who wants grace to reign in your life and in your heart, and by that I mean God's grace. I'm talking about the Bible, knowing what the Word of God says about it, the Bible says about it, and trying to, as a grace believer, as one who believes in God's grace and understands all that, as a Christian who wants that to reign in their life, the news media system is not conducive to letting grace reign in your life. It's letting fear and tyranny of, really, if there's a snowstorm, for instance, if there's a snowstorm, or I just use that for an example, because I remember as a kid, if it would snow, it was fun. And the snow would fall, and you could even go outside while it was snowing, or sometimes venture out even in a car very carefully, like, if you had some intelligence, you could go out and, even not that long ago, even 20 years ago, well, that's not very long, I don't think. I mean, I was in my 20s 20 years ago. Well, anyway, you could go out, and if you had a four-wheel drive, you could go. I'm not talking about being a dummy. I'm talking about just going out and checking out some stuff. Well, now the news media has figured out that they can hold captive the whole country by saying things like, it's so dangerous out. Don't go outside. Stay tuned to us for round-the-clock coverage, and we'll keep you informed, And they've got the whole country bought into this thing, and they just sell and advertising like crazy, And everybody's like dumb sheep now, Don't go outside when it's snowing. Who knows what'll happen to you, but it certainly will be bad. And I'm not saying, report the news, but don't sell this bill where you've got all the answers. And, if we try and go outside, we're just, destined for doom because we didn't tune in to you. Oh, but it's okay for you to go outside and stand there and report, or during a hurricane, you can, and I'm not saying, you should go outside in a hurricane, but how about have some smarts? We're all humans. we've got a, certain level of intelligence endowed by our Creator. I think we can handle going outside when it's raining if we want to. That's, but it's okay for them to go outside and stand shoulder deep in a ditch, to sell the story while, everybody else is walking down the street. I have in the last, and let me tell you, I told you I don't buy into the hype. I just don't. If all the talking heads are on there and they say, go get the flu shot, go get the flu, man, I'm not going out and getting the flu shot. I never have. If you have, fine. I don't want to shame anybody for that. That's not what I do. I don't run out. I feel like as a middle-aged man, I've accrued a certain amount of intelligence and wisdom by experience. I don't need someone to tell me to run out and get inoculated with some chemical because it seems like a good idea to them. This coronavirus thing, man. I was talking to just some people lately, some relatives, people I love, older people who I love, and seems to be this correlation between people who watch the news are the same people who are scared to death. Now, and some of my relatives is who I'm talking about, they won't leave the yard. They won't leave the house. And I'm not shaming them for that. But I'm feeling like I'm getting a little bit of shaming because I'm not buying into the fear. And I'm not. It's business as usual for me. I happen to be a person who washes my hands regularly. I don't need the news media to tell me to do that all of a sudden. And, I'm a person who doesn't, I don't know. There's nothing new to me here with this virus, During flu season, I don't get close to people. I don't get up and whisper in somebody's face, and I don't want, I don't need the news to tell me that all of a sudden. And so it's business as usual for me. And it seems to me that it's not normal that people don't know that. Anyway, this getting old stuff's for the birds, man. I tell you, I've totally lost my train of thought. I tell you what, I'm gonna get it back. Y'all stay tuned. Enjoy the ride down here to Arapahoe, okay? I was going to tell you that there's people that I know and love that are just seem to be consumed with fear. If the talking heads say it, then they're going to do it. Like they have no capacity to think for themselves now. It's just, this is the word. Walter Cronkite is gone. The days of him, of getting that kind of news where you got informed. And that's without bias. I don't think it exists. If you want, I think it seems to me like the best way to get news these days and information is through social media. You want to know what your president's saying? Go to social media and see what he's saying. There's no bias there. You don't get a snippet. You don't get a spin. You get what Donald Trump says on Facebook, Twitter, and that's. You can read what he says. He says several things a day there on social media. And that's so, if you want your news, go to that. Go to some government site on social media or see what people in maybe your community are saying to get your news, rather than tuning into the network, the networks and all that stuff. But so I know those kind of people, but just today I was getting coffee, ran into one of my customers and we kind of had a little rap session there while we were getting coffee that you know, we were just talking about business and whatever, and he's in the food business, and he said restaurants are way down, but retail's way up, seafood business, and like unprecedented, you know, way up. And we were just talking about the craziness, and I told him, I said, man, it is hard for people to have grace reign in their life when you stay tuned to the talking heads, to the news. And he agreed. He said he doesn't buy into this hype either, you know. And anyway, so but that seems to me like minorities these days. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? You know, it seems like most people are like sheep. And I know, maybe I shouldn't say that. You know, I'm not trying to shame anybody or to degrade anybody or demean anybody by saying that, but I don't know of a better description other than dumb sheep, you know, that are just led anywhere that someone's going to lead them. And that's just what comes to mind. So anyway, all right, we're going to head down to this job. This is a beautiful piece of property we're going down here. And y'all check it out, okay? We'll see. We're going to drive down here and hopefully maybe get some good footage of at least where I'm working anyway. If I can get some good shots where I'm at, where the truck is, then that would be good. It's a good area. Really beautiful if you like the water. All right, y'all enjoy. we just left the job, and what you saw back there, that was Dawson's Creek. That was the Neuse River again, and it's a pretty place down there if you like the water. I'm not really a water guy. I'd probably be most at home. I'm kind of out of place, because I think if I were to be dropped anywhere on the planet, it'd be somewhere in the mountains. So that's what I like. I like the mountains. But I live on the coast for some reason, and it is a nice area. And if you like the water, and even if you don't like the water, it doesn't change it. It's beautiful, especially that area you just saw. And we're going to come up through here into Oriental, North Carolina, where Highway 55 ends, and that's really a pretty place. That's where my wife was born and raised, and we're going to grab some lunch there to a unique place called the Silos. And I wish I could take you in there, but you know, coronavirus got everything shut down. And but they are doing takeout. So anyway, I've been talking to some people this morning, and a lot of people feel like I feel. They are so tired of this and this stuff, and it's not getting any better. As far as nobody's sick, nobody that we know are sick, nobody is symptomatic. But yet, I mean, we're getting close to having a total lockdown on everything. Anyway, most people I'm talking to just they're in business, in the business they just want to move on. We got to move, man. We got seafood to sell and process. We got trucks to fix. We got just stuff to haul, and we got to get on it. Parts to sell. That it's a wheel, man, and things are getting upset here. And it all goes back to the news media and the giant out of control snowball of coronavirus that they've got to roll in here. All right. Well, anyway, y'all check out Oriental here. We're gonna go over the high-rise bridge here in Oriental, as they call it, and it's pretty. Y'all appreciate that as we go. Okay.